Plaintiff Bradley Grunberg says he's been in the gentleman's club business for 20 years, and the defendant was a regular at one of his clubs. Bradley claims the defendant had an idea for a club where the customers would paint the strippers, and it was extremely profitable. But the defendant never paid him for his services. Defendant Kent Linker says Bradley was in charge of casting for the club, but he cast overweight, unattractive women that no one wanted to paint. Kent admits that he didn't pay Bradley, but says it was because Bradley didn't get the proper liquor license, so they never made any money.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Start with you.
Tell you a little background on my work. Has been in the gentleman's club business for over 20 years, and the defendant here used to frequent one of the clubs I worked at. And I've known him about 2 years. He used to come in all the time. Seemed like a nice guy, and he came up with an idea for a club. And he came to me and asked me if I'd be interested in working with him.
It was a spin-off of a gentleman's club. It was my idea.
Of course it was your idea. I understand that. You came to me.
Yeah. It was a great idea, Judge.
What was the idea?
The twist was,
let me hear this idea.
The twist was not lap dancing.
I might want to put some money in.
You will.
Judge, let me tell you something. I think you might, because we made a lot of money. I mean, he made a lot of money.
The twist was, it wasn't lap dancing. You could paint the girl.
Called Picasso's. I have a flyer, a promotional flyer.
And you could paint the girl with
your promotional flyer. Basically, what would happen is gentlemen would come in and pick out their favorite girl.
What? I know you didn't say what I thought you said, Doyle.
What?
Paint her with what?
Your fingers and your
painting. Guys brought in their own brushes.
I think Doyle was.
Or their own personal brush, Judge. A lot of guys came in with their own personal brush.
I came up with a lot of extra stuff.
That is unique.
See, it's a
after the
different
guy
idea.
would paint the girl, I came up with some additional stuff that they bring more revenue to Mr. Linker here. White T-shirts that guys would put on after they painted their favorite girl, and the girl would give them a big hug goodbye. So the imprint of their topless and their torso would imprint on the T-shirt, make a nice parting gift for the guy at home. But in addition to that, we had wrestling in the paint, mud, and oil. Were you at Picasso? I never forget it.
It's got to be him or his twin brother.
You remember Picasso?
That's right.
It wasn't me.
Yes.
You know.
It was him or his twin brother.
That's right.
I never forget
your secret is out, dog. What are you doing?
They threw me in. I usually wear a tuxedo when I manage, but they threw me in there to wrestle. And what am I going to do? I'm a team player, Judge. I'm a team player.
Until he.
All right. Let him finish his part, then I'll give you yours.
So this wonderful twist, we started. It was a hit because in Los Angeles and Hollywood, everybody likes a new flavor. What's happening? It was a packed club, and the one thing that I realized was about three or 4 weeks into it is things weren't the way that Mr. Linker presented it to me. I was doing all the heavy lifting. I was doing all the work. He would lock himself in his office.
Oh, he was casting the worst girls possible, Judge. They looked like a bunch of Big Losers rejects.
Wait a minute. He's casting all night long. Interviews in his office, Judge.
Well, I had to recast after the couch.
Interviews, okay?
I can attest to that.
What? I'm going to bring up Holly in a minute.
Who is she?
I'm going to bring up Holly in a minute, but I want to say this one thing. I did all that. I couldn't even talk to my boss. He wouldn't even come out of the office. I had to call him on his cell phone to get in touch with him. But this one night, Judge, the door was open. So I said, I'm going in, right? Judge, it was like a crime scene, okay? I walk in, there's this beautiful girl, all in paint, and then there's Mr. Linker in a G-string bikini brief.
No.
Finger painting the girl! And I say, what are you doing?
You got a problem with that? I was casting the girls, Judge. I have to tell them what the customer might do. It's for the girl to make sure. How do you cast it, Judge? It's all on the up and up. Nobody complains.
Hold on. You take a potential exotic dancer into the office.
Yes, to help her out.
You then proceed to take off your clothes.
Well, no, not all the way.
Put on an exotic dancer's outfit to show her how to do it. And then, of course, she throws up. And then what?
She didn't throw show up, Judge. I ended up hiring a bunch of girls like this.
Were you a victim?
Who was she?
By the way, let me tell
quiet.
you, Your Honor, here's some pictures.
Let me speak
Also-
to her. I want to know if
Okay.
she was a victim of this.
I have been victimized by him
State your
many,
name.
many times, over and over again.
State your name.
I'm Holly, Holly Marks, and Brad has been a good friend of mine for a long time. And he brought me into this because it was a very lucrative idea. And I'm just a struggling student trying to pay my tuition. I had the job already, but he wanted to interview me. So I figured, okay, I'll interview. He locks the door to the office. Okay, and that alone
He
freaks
locked
me
the
out.
door
Locks
when
the
you
door,
went in.
okay, and then proceeds to take his clothes off, and I had to call it a day at that. I was like not having any of that. I already had the job, but I tell you,
Did you take your clothes off? Judge, I don't recognize her with her clothes on.
oh, that is out of line. You are out of line.
Judge,
You know what?
I don't.
This is, can you see? He's impossible.
She says she certainly recognizes you with your clothes on because when she saw them off, she was sickened.
That is.
I don't believe that, Judge.
Exactly.
Amen.
Okay, we're going to get to the wages that he's suing for. Sir, you want to defend yourself?
Here's what happened, Judge. I had a great idea. We renovated a old building, put in 25 booths with a couch, and instead of lap dancing, the guys could paint the girl, $50 an hour or $100 an hour. He hired overweight girls that look like the biggest losers, rejects from the biggest losers. I had to recast these girls because he was hiring overweight girls. What
Did you
happened,
do
Judge?
all that? Are you an old pervert like they're painting you out to be?
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
No, it didn't happen
Do
like
you
that at all.
take women in that office
Just
and
once
wear
or twice,
a
I have
thong?
to cast these. A thong, no, just women's underwear. No, I mean, just maybe a thong once. That's just the way of casting in Hollywood, Your
How
Honor.
about the stench?
Foul.
No stink. Oh, where wasn't that
Listen,
bad?
I'm
Foul.
about-
Foul.
I can't take it anymore.
I just want to add one more thing.
I've
This
heard-
is a
profitable
and he
business.
did make a
I've
lot of
heard
money.
everything.
Judge, this is
Lisa,
a
I
profitable
thought.
business. He ruined the business.
No, you didn't
Many a
pay
time.
him.
That's
Yes,
enough.
it was a profitable business.
Let's talk about payment, sir. What was the agreement on payment?
Agreement was I'd work for him. We were open Fridays and Saturday nights, 150 a night, 300 for a weekend. I have the breakdown right here for you, Your Honor.
And how long did you work for
I
him?
worked for him from August till December. 4 months.
December?
Yes, Your Honor.
How much did he pay you?
Zero. Here's a breakdown, if you'd like it.
Sir?
We had an agreement. If the club showed a profit, he would get into it. Even if I opened up a second club, he would get 25%
And
ownership.
I just heard you all say it was packed.
But we got closed down because of his fault. We got closed down. We had a liquor license for 90 days. It's supposed to be for 6 months. They closed us after January 3rd because of his fault. Why should I pay him for his ineptitude? He killed my
Your Honor,
business.
he was also he fancied himself as a swimsuit photographer. Well, some
What?
pictures.
Casting
Yeah, some of the
sessions.
casting sessions that he
Sir,
had.
did he ever say to you, you would be paid once the club turned a profit?
Absolutely not.
Oh, that's...
I told him I'm leaving one club for a new club. I need to be paid. I live with my grandma. I'm 40 years old. I got some problems myself, Judge.
Did you ask for your money over the 4-month period?
Well, yes, I did. I asked him. I asked
And
for
what
money.
were you told?
I'll get it to you next week.
So why did you hang around?
I was already too much into it, Your Honor. I couldn't find another job. I couldn't go back to the old job. They hated me because we were so successful.
Sir, when you saw all those people coming in, did you believe money was being made?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yet you stuck around without getting any of your money.
But Your Honor, I'm not a thief. I'm not going to steal the money
He
from him.
trusted
You
him.
quit.
But Judge, please, I'm not doing. It's hard to
Sir,
find a
was
job
he
in this scenario.
asking for his money weekly?
Yeah.
And what would you tell him?
Oh, there we go.
I have investors to pay off. I had creditors to pay off and vendors. He asked for the money, but I just didn't have it.
You guys had an agreement.
We had
Well, an agreement. Yeah, he's going to be a 25%
Sir?
owner of the next club.
Sir,
Van Gogh goes.
you just told me that when he asked for his money, you had to pay bills,
Right.
you had to do this, you told him that, you told him
Thank you.
this. One thing you didn't tell him, the agreement you allege you had. You didn't tell him, hey, why are you asking for your wages? Don't you remember that our agreement was that we don't pay you until we make some money? You never told him that.
No.
So
but,
that's why I don't believe that was the agreement. He never told you that. He, by his own admission today, never once did he say, I don't owe you until we flip a profit. $5,000 for the plaintiff, I believe you. Have a good
God.
day.
Where you brought her from.
Oh,
You remember her, don't worry.
Victoria's Secret's having a sale on thongs.
Unbelievable.